Hi, this is Eldred Wolfsbane, unofficial wizard of the OSR. Basically, talking about how the third edition, or the 3.5 edition, helped lead me to the OSR. Now, back in the day, I had been finding old PDFs of the original, and were quite fascinated by these little primitive, primordial role-playing books from 1974, and found various PDFs or photocopies or picture copies online, and was amazed. Then third edition came out. We'd been on a second edition of Kick, and I had my other house rules of a totally different kind of game called the Old Rim. So when third edition came out, it was the most, what I thought, magical thing in the world. It had broke a lot of the what I called foolish class race restrictions, and it had these amazing rules and feats and skills, and then everything and everybody converted to the D20 system with the open gaming license. It was gigantic. I'm thinking that's what, early 2000s. And then the artwork was pretty darn cool, and it was a great time to be into gaming. Brought people back together. We had amazing games back in the day. Unfortunately, I started to realize that, after running older games back in the day, that, like, man, this is a lot of work. There was literally a rule for everything, and like back in the day, if you wanted to, with older types of rules, if you wanted to make an NPC, you just, rolled some hit points and some AC. But the people I were playing with were pretty, knowledgeable of the rules, so they would realize right away if I just made some simple thing like he doesn't have any feats, he doesn't have a strength bonus, and so that was where the start of monsters were full page characters, which was kind of stupid. Why do you need a full page character for a kobold? Well, that's going to get killed in one shot. Like I said, on paper it was perfection. In actual practice, it was terrible. Then came the 4th edition days, but that'll be another story. But basically, 3rd edition, perfection on paper. In actual practical use, it's too much work, too much clunk. And then especially characters that were rules lawyers, they would take the rules and do horrible things to your game by the rules.